The NBA is trying to rob the New York Knicks of this playoff series against the Detroit Pistons with absolute lunacy that has been going on in this series, with multiple New York Knicks star players speaking out on these issues that the NBA is sweeping under the rug, with Tom Thibodeau speaking on it, and somehow JB Bickerstaff, head coach of the Pistons, essentially saying that it's the other way around, which makes no sense when we dive into this. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. And if you guys are part of that 62% that's not subscribed to Knicks Digest, make sure to subscribe. We're on that grind right now. Multiple videos every single day during the playoffs if there is not a Knicks game, and there will be one video, maybe two anyway, when there is a playoff game. You guys do not want to miss out on all the great content that we have. But let's jump into the video. We have a lot to discuss on the New York Knicks front because there is absolute lunacy going on in this game. We saw the NBA completely try to rob the New York Knicks of a win last night, and it is absolutely absurd. Now, this is not just me saying it. This has been multiple New York Knicks sources. I mean, Karl-Anthony Towns spoke on it. Jalen Brunson spoke on it. I mean, Tom Thibodeau even spoke on it. Everyone was speaking on this, and somehow along the way, JB Bickerstaff, part of the team, the Detroit Pistons, trying to rob the New York Knicks with the NBA, somehow thinks that they're the ones getting the short end of the stick right now, and it's an absolutely absurd notion to have. So let's dive into this and basically break down what happened. So, end of the game, you know, normal game. We're seeing Tom Thibodeau do his thing, coaching. We're seeing Karl-Anthony Towns balling out, having one of the best games he's ever had in the playoffs. We see Jalen Brunson get to the free throw line. What happens when Brunson gets to the free throw line? By the way, there's an inbound play that the ball gets passed to, and essentially Pistons fans thought it was a backcourt violation. It was not, and we will get to that. But where things stand right now, Brunson's at the free throw line because he got intentionally fouled, with the Knicks up 2. Brunson misses the second free throw because then the Pistons would not be able to call a timeout. There was only half a second left, so essentially it would burn the clock, and then everything would be all good. However, what happened is the Detroit Pistons people who were running the clock, well, they started the game when the ball hit the rim. Why? So there could be a clock malfunction. What does that mean? The Pistons got to be able to call a timeout because the refs had to stop the game. It was a complete and utter way for the Pistons to try to cheat to get a win, and it could have worked. It absolutely could have. They could have absolutely screwed the Knicks over right here, and this could be a completely different series than it is right now. The Knicks ultimately won the game, as we know, and they're up 2-1 and do have command over the playoffs once again, or over the Pistons once again. As when you look at things, they're clearly the better team. We saw that last night, but that's not really the point of this video. The point is the fact that the NBA openly tried to screw the Knicks over, and there's been no comment from the NBA about this. It's just getting swept under the rug that the Pistons got a second chance to win the game because of a clock malfunction that was clearly done to give the Pistons another chance to try to win this game. It's absolutely absurd that the NBA allowed this and that zero punishment is happening and zero conversation about it is happening. Now, Karl-Anthony Towns was asked, he said, "I'm not going to lie to you. Shout out to the table, man. Giving your team another chance like that is fire. I got to give him a lot of respect for that." On top of that, we see Tom Thibodeau say, "They said that's what's in the rules, but that doesn't seem right to me that they're able to do that. It's unfortunate. That should never happen ever. In a playoff game, never happen." However, it did happen, and Tibbs, I'm sorry that I took the screenshot of you during a video when you were making that face. That's not ideally what I was going for, but the point stands that the fact is, the Pistons tried to screw the New York Knicks over. There's no way around it. It's obvious. It's not even up for debate, or at least shouldn't be, with Josh Hart saying, "We're in Detroit. What do you expect? They had home court advantage." That's an example of home court advantage. So the Knicks players, they don't seem fazed by this. Karl-Anthony Towns seemingly enjoyed it and then basically said, "Well, we got to beat him twice, so that was cool." And the Knicks did. They played excellent defense on the inbound. Jalen Duren threw the ball away, and now the New York Knicks are up 2-1, took back home court advantage, took back command of the playoffs, and demoralized Pistons fans who left the game early. Now, first of all, great job, Pistons fans. A way to really represent your first playoff home game in 5,000 years, and you guys leave the game early. Really great way to show support for your team. They've been excellent all season. They got you back in the playoffs, and you leave early when you're down 3 points. What a stellar fan base they are. But it is what it is. What are you going to do? Where things stand right now for the New York Knicks, they are up 2-1, and they did have a phenomenal game in the process. It's great to see that the Knicks are playing well. There are some issues, don't get me wrong. I mean, Tom Thibodeau did not use the bench, but it worked, and I've said this before. I don't mind if he's not really going to use the bench in the playoffs as much. If everyone's going to play 40 minutes in the playoffs in the starting lineup, I really don't care. Jalen Brunson even said that he's happy that Tibbs played him so many minutes in the regular season because it got him ready for postseason basketball. Now, Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson continued to speak on this clock issue. Towns said, 10 years in, I never seen that. They gave him a chance. I got nothing but respect for that. And Brunson saying they need a raise for that. Smart on their part to do that. So they're not taking it really, or they're really just taking it in stride, honestly. And we saw the New York Knicks play. Their starting lineup had the best game their starting lineup has had. I mean, objectively speaking, Karl-Anthony Towns went out there and had an absolutely stellar start to the game. Balled out, finished with 31 points. Came out aggressive. The Knicks came out firing, just like Jalen Brunson said they had to do. When Brunson was asked after winning Clutch Player of the Year what the biggest issue is, he said that they're just coming out too slow and they're just coming out flat and they need to stop that. And they absolutely did. Mikal Bridges did exactly what you want out of Mikal Bridges. His defense was phenomenal. He put up 20 points and 7 for 13 shooting and 3 for 6 from 3. Really good way to bounce back. Also pulled down 7 rebounds with that. Mikal, multiple blocks, multiple steals. He did his thing. This is the Mikal Bridges that the Knicks traded for. And if he plays like this, that is a winning player, and that's worth 5 first-rounders if the Knicks continue to win, especially when 2 of those are in the 20s this season. On top of that, OG Anunoby continued to do his thing, played phenomenal defense on Cade Cunningham, went 7 for 17, 3 for 8 from 3. Is it the greatest numbers in the world? No. Is it anything to be upset about? Absolutely not. Karl-Anthony Towns was phenomenal. Best player on the court, it looked like, for the first half. Then it was Brunson in the second. But point stands, Cat came out firing, got into a fight with Jalen Duren. That man was not taking any BS, and he went out there and was violent, and the Knicks needed him to do that. Josh Hart did the dirty work that he does, being the best glue guy basketball has, getting 9 assists, 11 rebounds, and put up 6 points as well. I still do have a problem that Josh Hart's not shooting open threes, and I want him to because he's a good enough shooter that he should be. So he has to be able to, but it's definitely Tibbs in his ears telling him not to. I want to see Mitchell Robinson play more. It's just objective that he should be playing more than 16 minutes. He was a positive impact for sure on the team. Meanwhile, Deuce McBride didn't play a ton. Cameron Payne barely played, and Landry Shamet played 4 minutes. The Knicks just went with their starters tonight, and it worked. So whatever's going to work, I'm fine with. I do think that the Knicks having off till Sunday was part of the motivation for Tibbs to be able to play these guys as many minutes. They're not going to travel. They're sitting in Detroit. They're in the hotel room. They're doing recovery stuff. You can play them all 40-some-odd minutes when you have today off. You have tomorrow off. There's nothing to do in Detroit, so it's not like they're going to be able to go out and do anything fun. They could probably go for a walk through the park and get robbed or something. No, I'm just kidding. I don't mean to make fun of Detroit. My favorite rapper's from Detroit. I promise it's I was gonna make some sort of joke about how it's not Eminem, even though it is Eminem. So we're gonna push past that. But look, at the end of the day, the New York Knicks, they played phenomenal basketball, and the NBA tried to cheat them out of a win. Why? It's pretty simple. There's a reason to see why the New York Knicks or the NBA's tried to cheat the New York Knicks out of this. Basically, you look at it, the NBA's made a ton of money off the Knicks being bad and other teams showing up and beating the Knicks. Why ruin a good thing? You have the Lakers. They win games. So the other coast, the second biggest market, maybe the first biggest market, but the lesser successful big market, let's just have other teams beat them. Let's make them the literal generals to the Harlem Globetrotters, if you will. Just essentially have them lose the games so teams can get important, like, basically just a lot more face time for them, like the Pistons. It'd be great marketing for them if they could beat the New York Knicks. Knicks are better than them, so I don't think that's happening. But it would be good marketing. The NBA allowed that to happen, and the fact that no one spoke out on it in the NBA is really, really terrifying if you're a Knicks fan, because it shows exactly the problem that there is, that the NBA does not care if the New York Knicks succeed. Why is that? There's another reason that no one's talking about. This guy, Adam Silver, lifelong Knicks fan, by the way. He's even admitted to it. He doesn't like the Knicks anymore. Why? Because James Dolan and Adam Silver have serious beef. The owners don't like James Dolan. James Dolan, I mean, they don't like him, essentially. And because of that, the NBA wants to screw the Knicks over because James Dolan is not allowing the NBA to do what they want. So, to quickly break that down and just explain what's happening here, with the NBA and their revenue-sharing platform, James Dolan's very against it. Why is James Dolan very against it? Because he owns the New York Knicks. The Knicks make exterior money. They make more money than just being an NBA team because they play in MSG, because they're in New York City. They're a tourist attraction, where teams that are smaller markets, like the Indiana Pacers, the New Orleans Pelicans, not really the Pistons, they're kind of mid-market. Those teams don't benefit. They're not tourist attractions. Very few people are like, well, I'm in New Orleans mainly because I want to go see a Pelicans game. That's my big thing. People are in New Orleans for sports. It's more likely to be a college game than the NBA. The Pelicans are not worth a ton of money. I know if they were good, they'd be different, but they're not. It's one of the reasons why they sent Zion there is because it's easy. It should have made the money, but Zion has unfortunately had a rough career so far. Now, where things stand right now, Dolan doesn't like the revenue sharing because it impacts the New York Knicks and gives them a negative. It essentially hurts the Knicks while helping out other teams. So Dolan, standing up for the Knicks and standing up for New York, has upset the NBA. So the NBA, in turn, doesn't love to give Dolan calls. Now, JB Bickerstaff complained about all the calls and stuff, and it's absolute lunacy that he would do that because JB Bickerstaff doesn't ever stop complaining. So who would have expected this? However, what Bickerstaff says is, so Brunson catches the ball in the front court, recognizes that he's getting ready to go into the backcourt, then drops the ball. There's some procedural things that we have questions on. We foul, the foul happens, we go back and look at it with 1 second or 0.9 seconds. How come we don't go and make sure that we're positive of the time on the clock? Dude, you guys got a second chance, and Brunson didn't have possession of the ball, and it's where you catch the ball. You're an NBA head coach. If you don't know that, you should not be coaching, or you do know that, and you're lying like you did about saying Brunson is the most free throws when it wasn't Brunson. Absolute absurd behavior by JB Bickerstaff. And Zach Zarba, a crew official, said Brunson and the trajectory of the pass were headed towards the backcourt. Brunson's momentum was taking him there when he touches the ball. That's why the play is legal, which is in the NBA rulebook. JB Bickerstaff does not stop whining, and the New York Knicks do not stop winning, and that's just the way it is. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Knicks. We're winning the next 2 games.